with this bullpen right now, what have you been seeing just from the guys? I know it's different pitchers, but just kind of when you look at what's either been missing for them or what's leading to just more runs late in the game, what are you seeing right now?
In this particular case, tonight I just felt that, I think Yoshinobu a little bit ran out of gas right there in that sixth inning. And then seventh inning? Seventh inning. And, feel like Blake, they did a safety squeeze and then kind of a toughish play for Freddie. And, if he'd have come up with a clean, we might have had a shot, to get the runner there. Then we get the fly out and then has count leverage on, Lee, and then, unfortunately he gives up a double. And so, right there's 3 runs. So it's just unfortunate when you're not just kind of putting up crooked numbers to kind of, it's just hard when, the margin is thin. And right now, it's just been thin and it's hard for the bullpen to be perfect every night. It just really is. So I don't know if they feel pressure to be perfect, which if that's the case, that's just kind of tough, way to go about it. They still got to go out there and, do their jobs, but, they're trying to be as good as they possibly can be.
With the offense, tonight felt like a similar theme as yesterday, just for RG to have some more opportunities to really make, whether tagging or can even give yourself, just put yourself in a better position. What is just missing in those key at-bats when you are looking to bring runners in, you're trying to kind of make it more impactful?
In the first inning, I thought it was really promising. I thought Will had a great at-bat. Lee makes a great play over his shoulder, which really could have been the difference in the game. And instead of giving up, 3 runs and still 1 out, it's 2 outs and then, giving up 1 run. So that was a really game-changing play. I think that, I think in total, when you don't get a whole lot of opportunities and you don't cash in on the couple that you do get, you don't score a lot of runs. And so, today, I think, in that first inning and then in the 8th inning, I think it was, where, Max strikes out on a borderline pitch, then they get out of that inning. And so it's just, we just don't give ourselves, we haven't given ourselves as many opportunities as we're used to.
Has that felt like the bigger problem, especially lately? Just the lack of opportunities you guys have generated versus the situational at-bats?
Yeah, because I think that, when you're really not slugging or you're not, throwing out double-digit hits a night, then the opportunities are few and far between. And so that's where it's like, our margins, even on the offensive side, are just more finite. You get a guy on second base to lead off an inning, and you got to get him to third, and then you got to get that point across, and we're just not doing that, on top of not slugging and not creating a bunch of traffic and stress. So, the guys are busting their tails. The hitting guys are trying to figure out, different ways to connect with guys. And, tonight I felt Shohei had a really good night. I thought, Tuck is starting to come to life in this last few weeks. And so Freddie's been better, which is good to see over the last couple of weeks. And so then you get some other guys that kind of have a couple bad days. So it's just kind of just trying to sync it all up.
Dave, will Shohei hit tomorrow?
Shohei's not going to hit tomorrow.
Tonight, feel like a turning point for him offensively?
Yeah, it did. I really felt that, taking a sinker the other way for a homer was great. Hit the ball on the screws a couple times, so 3 times. So I thought tonight was a really good night. And so now, to go out there, focus on pitching tomorrow, get that recovery on Thursday. Think that he can hopefully take that momentum from tonight and then be building on that through Anaheim and San Diego.
And was there talk before the game about that tonight's game probably won't impact your decision with him going out tomorrow? But were you tempted at all, like just sort of put him in it just to maybe try to build on?
Not really. I was kind of talked to him and said, that's kind of my thought, and we were both good with it. And so I don't like the bait and switch. I think that sometimes that might have been something where you get a couple of days off of hitting, and it might have freed him up. So you just never know, and kind of go back on a pact or decision that we came upon or I came upon. I don't like that.
So you told us before the game?
Yeah.
Is there any concern that him having a better night and then not hitting or being in the starting lineup for 2 nights might kind of slow that momentum?
None whatsoever.
Why do you think that?
I think that you're still pitching, and you just can't be reactive over one game. You really can't. You're pitching, and I've talked about the workload, and I've talked to him at length about it, and then, you know, it's tough on daisy pitches, and so it's just not, I don't think it's fair to the player just to assume, you know, he threw out a couple knocks, and then so he should be in there tomorrow. I don't like playing that game.
Dave, when you're looking at Shohei in the dugout after today, did you see a sense of change in body language or demeanor from him?
Relief, he smiled, he laughed. I just think that he's going to feel good about the offensive side tonight to then, you know, refocus for tomorrow to pitch, and then know that he's got something to build on, I feel, come Friday.
I know it's more than one guy, but like if he gets going, it's gonna make it easier for the rest of the guys to kind of follow suit.
It does, you know. It's not his sole responsibility, but, you know, when your best player is, you know, doing what he's capable of doing, it just adds that energy into the dugout. You know, frees guys up a little bit to do something too. So it doesn't. And also, you know, when he's doing well, he's slugging. So those are runs. And so that's part of, you know, he's just not getting base hits. So when he's doing his thing, those are runs on the board.
Dave, Yamamoto last 4 ERA is like over 5. Do you lump in tonight with the previous 3, or if so, like what are you seeing generally?
You know, the last handful, I think it's been that first inning that's got him. Tonight wasn't the case. I thought he came out and really pitched well out of the gate. You know, he gave up 3 homers to the bottom of the order. And so major league hitters are major league hitters, and, you know, you're trying to kind of get through the bottom and get to the top, and he left a couple fastballs, a cutter to the catcher, Haas, for the first one. And so just good pitch to hit. So, and I think that last inning, it was just, you know, base hit, and then the line out, you know, Eldridge hit a line out, and I just felt right there that was time to kind of, you know, introduce another arm.
He's given up more homers early this year. Have you seen any patterns kind of led to that?
You know what, I don't. I haven't dug into it. I know that tonight, obviously, there were early count. I don't know if that's kind of been the case of, you know, trying to get ahead, and then you get these hitters that are trying to, you know, attack on the first pitch. So I'm not sure about that one.